In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything you need to know about the Northwest Quadrant of Calgary if you're thinking about making a move here. Again, we just want to keep you guys as educated and informed as possible if you are thinking of Calgary as your next place to call home. Now, we're going to be doing another map tour, so we're going to jump on my computer in a sec. If you want to be notified when we have our new videos that are getting released, hit that bell so you can be the first one to know, and subscribe to this channel so that we can keep producing great content for you guys. If you're looking at making a move in the next 9 to 90 days, we would love to help you with that transition, just like so many of our clients do. They love to reach out to us and we love to serve them. There will be a link in the description below for you guys to click, fill out, and we'd love to hear from you.
Hey guys, Riley Nichols with the Bricks Real Estate Group here, and today we're going to be covering another map tour on the Northwest Quadrant of Calgary. Now, in some of our previous videos, we covered the other quadrants of Calgary. Today, we're going to be focusing specifically on the Northwest. And again, stay tuned and check out some of our other videos because we will be getting very specific on different neighborhoods within Calgary, the amenities that they have to offer, and what you can kind of expect if you're planning on relocating to Calgary. Again, for this video, we're going to be focusing on the Northwest. So let's dive into it. Now, basically, the Northwest of Calgary is a fairly large quadrant, and it's going to stop right around Rocky Ridge and Tuscany over here. It's going to wrap all the way around. We've got some new developments over here. It's going to loop all the way around like this, cut over to Stony, wrap around like this. This is Stony at the top, and then this becomes Deerfoot, and then it wraps all the way down here, cuts across 16th Avenue. There's even a few more northeast spots over here, and then it loops all the way like that. So you can see the Northwest Quadrant of Calgary is very large. Now, there's a few neighborhoods that are kind of tucked right in here that are technically considered northeast. So you've got a pocket right here that's a northeast address. Beddington Heights is a northeast address. Coventry Hills and Country Village over here. This is technically northeast. So again, you've got a couple little pockets depending on where they are that have a northeast address. But for the sake of this video, we're going to be covering Northwest as a whole. And these neighborhoods are kind of on the border of the Northeast and the Northwest. So a big draw for the Northwest is, you've got some really nice suburb communities, some newer product and new houses that are being built. Particularly if we have clients looking and saying, hey, I'd like to be in a new house. I need a 22 or 2,300 square foot two-story. I need to be in the Northwest, but it needs to be new. We're going to look at some of these newer communities over here like Nolan Hill, Sage Hill, Evanston, Sherwood. These are a decent ways away from downtown because you do have to take, Beddington Trail, loop onto Deerfoot and come down into downtown. Or you can take Stony Trail and then come down Crowchild and loop all the way around here downtown. So it does take a little bit longer to commute to the core if that's where you want to be. But again, you've got some new product offerings down here, which is attractive to people who want to be in a new house. Over in these pockets here, you've got communities like Edgemont. You got communities like the Hamptons over here. You've got Hawkwood over here. These are going to be, again, a lot of large two-story homes that are built in the 90s. Some of these homes would require a bit of work unless they've been updated. But again, this is going to have a little bit more of a developed feel with houses that are 20 to 30 years old. Really good developed schools, good sized lots. You are going to have some trees and a little bit more green space than you would if you were in Nolan Hill and Sage Hill, just because these communities have been around for a little bit longer. Some attractive stuff in the Beddington and Huntington area. Again, the price point is relatively affordable in these neighborhoods. You've got some more laned houses with detached garages in the back. We're going to see some more bungalows, some more bi-levels, and some more split levels in these neighborhoods here. And this is actually a good little spot for investors to get in because we've seen a lot of great suited properties with basement suites in the house. And again, if you're looking for some rental income, and maybe you want to live upstairs and rent in the basement, these are a couple really good options. Panorama is another community that's right over here. You have a big ridge right here with lots of green space, which is nice, and it sits a little bit higher up. There's actually some houses even at the top of Panorama where you can actually see downtown, which is really attractive. Nose Hill Park is going to be right in the middle. So this is a giant off-leash park, tons of walking paths. A lot of people love going to Nose Hill to explore, take their dog there, go for walks, go biking. And you can see from the map, it's a fairly large park. And some of these neighboring communities around here are super attractive because you have Nose Hill Park right here. Rocky Ridge, this is a great neighborhood if you guys are looking for mountain views. Again, it's so far tucked on the northwest side that you can see mountains from quite a few of the houses there. Obviously, not every house is going to have mountain views, but the chances of you getting something with mountain views are quite great if you're looking in the Rocky Ridge area. You have a mixture of townhouse, condo, and single-family homes. And then Tuscany is actually one of my favorite neighborhoods. I think it has incredible value in the Northwest. You've got great schools in Tuscany. You've got the LRT, so that's the train station that runs from Tuscany and will take you all the way into town. You've got lots of ravines and green space kind of rolling through, like you guys can see right here. There's deer and wildlife and all kinds of cool things that make their way into Tuscany because it's so close to the outskirts of the city and all the green space. And again, you're going to get lots of nice mountain views in Tuscany. Moving kind of in, you've got Arbor Lake, which is kind of in the northwest little quadrant in the pocket up here. This is actually the only lake community in the Northwest. You can see the little body of water right there. And a great spot to raise families, lots of good schools. It does have pretty good amenities. A lot of the homes there are built in the 90s as well. And again, that's an attractive spot to raise a family if you're looking for a lake community in the Northwest. As we move kind of down Crowchild Trail here, Crowchild brings you all the way downtown, and you can kind of deke off and head this way onto the Highway 1 and then head out to the mountains and Cochrane and Banff over this way. So again, you've got good access points like Crowchild this way. You've got Stony that loops all the way around. You've got the Deerfoot Trail that leads you into downtown. And then as we kind of work our way down Crowchild, you've got some interesting little pockets here. So Varsity is a fantastic neighborhood. A lot of estate houses, some beautiful stuff backing onto the golf course. It's close to the Bow River. It's fairly intercity. And then it's also really close to the University of Calgary. So a lot of people that are, maybe going to be attending school at the university or families who want to have a house that's close to the University of Calgary, Varsity could be a great option. It is not the cheapest neighborhood. There's definitely a price tag attached to living in Varsity, but it is a beautiful spot. Now, working our way down just off Crowchild, we have some of these inner city pockets that are going to be closer in the Northwest that kind of loop around like this and like this. So again, we've got Dalhousie. Again, there's the Dalhousie LRT that runs through here, which is a great community. Brentwood is one of the tri-woods is what we call them. So you got Brentwood, Collingwood, and Charleswood. And these are all great neighborhoods with bungalows, split levels. There are some 2-stories that are built in the 60s and 50s. Again, it's really close to Nose Hill Park. People love these neighborhoods just because you got Confederation Park, you've got Nose Hill Park, the University of Calgary is close. You've got great access into downtown. It only takes about 10 minutes to get there, which is fantastic. So a lot of people do love these neighborhoods. And we are seeing some gentrification start to happen in Brentwood, Charleswood, and Collingwood. Some renovation companies that are taking old bungalows, adding a second story to get some more living space. Some big bungalows that are getting renovated. Price points in Brentwood, Collingwood, and Charleswood range from anywhere from $500,000 to upwards of $2 million, depending on kind of what the house is and what it has to offer. Then you've also got some inner city pockets here. So this is 16th Avenue. And again, this kind of runs east to west. And you've got a few little inner city pockets over here like Capitol Hill, Tuxedo Park, Highland Park, which is on the north side here. And we see lots of duplexes in these neighborhoods, full side by side. So good spot to get into for investment if you are an investor looking at investing in the Calgary market. You've got old bungalows that are getting torn down and infills are getting created. If anyone doesn't know what an infill is, it's basically an old lot with a new home. So the home was taken down and they built a new house on the existing lot. So we are seeing a lot of that stuff happening in here with some higher density as well, because it's so close to downtown Calgary. There's a few other little intrinsic pockets too in the Northwest I want to talk about. And one is Bowness, which is right here, and Montgomery. So again, you can see the Bow River runs right through Bowness and Montgomery, which is kind of a beautiful spot. So Bowness and Montgomery are actually starting to go through gentrification quite a bit. Montgomery more so than Bowness, but we're seeing a ton of activity in both of these neighborhoods. These were old bungalows that were built in the 50s. That have been obviously torn down and new houses have been built on them. We're going to see a duplex product where you've got a brand new duplex and people are living on one side and the other. price ranges anywhere between 700,000 up to $1 million. And in Bowness, we're also seeing some good multifamily going there too, with some pretty nice condo developments, some nice townhouse developments, and we're seeing that in both Montgomery and Bowness. There are also some estate homes in Bowness that kind of border the Bow River right here that are really beautiful, and you've got giant lots that back onto the river with lots of green space. And then you've got Bowness Park and Baker Park, which is a great spot. You've got frisbee golf, off-leash parks, tons of walking paths. A lot of people love to go biking down here. And these are two kind of like intrinsic little hidden gems in the Northwest that some people overlook sometimes. So again, if you're looking at even getting an investment property, we're even seeing suited properties in Bowness and Montgomery that could be a good option as kind of a long-term holding house. Or if you are looking for a great spot to live and need good access to downtown and you don't want to be so far out in the suburbs over here, these are two good neighborhoods to consider. You got Silver Springs also, which is right here, and then Scenic Acres, which is here as well. Again, the LRT is running this way, so these are great communities to have access to that train. And the last one that I want to cover is St.Andrews Heights. So again, St.Andrews Heights is a pretty prestigious neighborhood. The Foothills Hospital is basically right here, and the new cancer center. And you've got, actually it's right here where the red is. And St.Andrews Heights is a beautiful neighborhood. So traditionally you've got old bungalows that have been torn down and people have built their dream house. It is extremely close to downtown. It's right by the University of Calgary. It's also really close to the hospital, like I had mentioned. And you've got a beautiful street called Toronto Crescent on the bottom of St. Andrews Heights, right about here. And typically all those houses are going to have beautiful downtown views. Some you can even see the mountains out west. They're incredible, right? Now these homes are going to range anywhere between 1 to 4 million, depending on what the house has to offer. And some of the entry points for some of the bungalow product is probably between 650 and 850, depending on kind of what you're after. So that is my high-level summary on Northwest Calgary, and hope you guys enjoyed.
I hope you guys got a ton of value from that map tour. Now again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you can be notified when we release new great content. We're going to be diving into every single neighborhood in Calgary, Chestermere, Cochrane, so that you as the buyer are fully educated on what to expect if you decide to move to Calgary. Again, we would love to hear from you and help you with that transition. So if you're someone looking at making a move in the next 9 to 90 days, use the link in the description to connect with us. We'd love to hear from you, just like so many of our clients, and we'll see you on the next video.